Hello, second grade scientists, and welcome to another science lesson. Today we're going to review fast and learn about slow changes to land. Fast changes to land. Last week on your own, you watched a Brain Pop video where you learned about the different ways our Earth can change quickly. That included volcanoes that spew lava and ash that creates new land. Earthquakes are tectonic plates sit under the surface of our earth, and they meet at fault lines, and they can cause huge cracks in the surface of our earth. Landslides and mudslides, when there's a lot of dirt and then a lot of rain, that dirt and soil can slide down hills, causing a very quick change to our land. Tsunamis, which are large waves that form way out in the ocean, usually caused by earthquakes that can then rush over the land, causing very fast changes. Floods, when you get a lot of rain all together, it can cause a flood and the water changes the land underneath it. Hurricanes, that usually have rain and super duper fast winds, hundreds of miles per hour. And wildfires. Here in California, we get a lot of wildfires. These can be caused by people or they can be caused by natural events. You also experienced how a shield volcano creates new land with the experiment you did in science lab last week with Mrs. Ibrahim. Today, we're going to talk more about the way our land changes slowly over many thousands of years. And we are going to watch a Brain Pop video all about slow land changes.
We better hurry, or else we'll be late to school. Moby, are you okay? Cool. The tree roots are breaking through the sidewalk. Yeah, I know sidewalks are made of hard rock, but rocks can change. Why do rocks break down? Weathering happens when rocks and minerals break down in nature. Weathering can happen in different ways. Sometimes the roots of plants can grow into rocks and split them apart. That's what happened to the sidewalk. Weathering also happens when wind blows sand against rocks. Over thousands of years, the rocks break down and change shape. Weathering can also happen with water and ice. Water can get inside of a rock and freeze. When water freezes, it expands or gets bigger. Over time, freezing water can make the cracks deeper and bigger, and the rock can break apart. Rocks are made of minerals, and water can change some minerals. Copper is a mineral found in some rocks. Over time, air and water can change copper and turn it green. In the right environment, weathering can help form caves. A cave can form when water runs inside cracks in limestone rock. Over time, the limestone becomes softer and breaks down, and holes can start to form. It can take thousands of years for a cave to form. How can land change? When rocks break down, they can be carried away to different areas. Well, when waves crash into rocks, bits of rock are washed into the ocean. Eventually, the weathered rocks break down into tiny pieces and become sand. Then the sand can wash away to different places. Erosion happens when rocks and soil are carried away by wind, water, and other forces. Rivers and streams can break down rocks and carry them far away. Over time, a river can wear away land to form a canyon. A glacier is a large body of ice that moves really slowly and picks up bits of land as it moves. Over millions of years, a glacier can wear away at mountains and leave behind valleys. Landforms look different because weathering and erosion have changed areas in different ways. People can change land too. Plant roots help keep soil in place. When people clear land for farms or buildings, erosion happens a lot faster. The soil can wash away more easily. People also change land when they build roads or buildings. Land is always changing in different ways. You're right, Moby. The weathered sidewalk isn't too safe. Well, that's one way to make it safe.
All right, now that we've watched about slow land changes, let's review. Just like Annie and Moby showed us, land can change slowly over many thousands of years, like we saw in our video. They talked about the processes of weathering and erosion, so land is slowly weathered and eroded by flowing water, like we see at the Grand Canyon. Typically, water like rivers can carve out a canyon. Glaciers, those are our huge ice pieces that carve through mountains. It's believed that Yosemite Valley, right here in California, was actually carved by a glacier. Could you imagine all that ice there today? I sure can't. Ice. Water drips into the cracks in rocks, freezes and expands and gets bigger, and then it can crack the rock and change the land. Waves. We live at the beach, so we can see wave erosion and weathering all the time. But in other places, you might see sea arches or even sea caves. Wind can change our land. It blows pieces of sand across rock and it carves little tiny pieces. These rock formations are called hoodoos, and they're really common to find in Bryce or Zion National Parks in Utah. Even plants can change our land. The roots of plants can wedge their way into the rocks, causing it to crack and break and change our land, and so many other ways. If you think back to your first science lab visit with Mrs. Ibrahim, you did the experiment where you shake chalk in a jar and you dripped water onto sugar cubes. Both of those were examples of slower land changes. Now that we've looked at both fast and slow land changes, you have an activity to do. You're going to try out this Earth Land Changes Sort. This website is on this worksheet, is on the second grade website. And you're going to sort these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different land changes into either a fast change or a slow change. So very carefully cut out the cards from the bottom, separate them into each of the different ways our land can change, and sort them into either fast changes or slow changes. Glue them down. And then you're ready to go. Pause the video and complete your Earth Land Changes Sort worksheet. When you're ready, hit play and we'll review our answers. If you're watching, that means you've already cut out your cards, sorted them into either a fast change or slow change, and you're ready to check your answers. So let's review our different ways that land can change fast and how land can change slow. So I just used all my same pictures. These aren't all on our worksheet, but I thought we would review them all anyways. Some fast land changes include volcanoes, tsunamis, landslides or mudslides, earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. So if you have any of these under your fast land changes, great job. Let's check our slow land changes. Land can change slowly from plants, glaciers, ice, flowing water, wind, and waves. Check your slow land changes and see if you have all of these or the ones that are on the worksheet that also are here on your slow land changes. If you got them all right, great job, scientists. If not, that's okay. We can always fix our mistakes. Now we've looked at our slow land changes, and the next time we meet, we're going to talk even more about those processes of weathering and erosion to see how they really change our land. Great work today, second grade scientists, and I'll see you next time.